Hi, my name is Marcia. I want to start out by thanking you for taking time out of your busy schedule and your lives to volunteer at the petition table. We truly deeply appreciate your help. And so I wanted to provide a little bit of information so you're not kind of going in blindly and you're well informed. The first petition that we have at the table is to demilitarize the Fort Worth PD. Sounds a little scary and a little intimidating, but really, when it comes down to it, it just means remove some of the tens of millions of dollars that they get every year that is allocated for military grade weapons and vehicles and reallocate that towards community services. So it's not doing away with the Fort Worth PD. It's not taking away their ability to do their job. It's just removing some of the excess funding and reallocating that back into the community. The second one also speaks about reallocating funds from the Fort Worth PD. So once we free up those funds from Fort Worth PD, we are asking for those to be fed into a centralized crisis intervention center for the city of Fort Worth. There is a program called Cahoots. It starts with a C in Eugene, Oregon. You can Google that. It's a highly successful program that has been in effect for roughly 30 years. And in Eugene, Oregon, when someone is in a mental health crisis, if there's an out of control teenager, if there's a domestic violence situation where someone's life is not immediately at risk, all these different types of situations where we typically call 911 and a police officer goes out. In Eugene, Oregon, a crisis intervention counselor goes out. So it's much more humanitarian. They're not met with the threat of arrest and legalities, and the crisis intervention counselors can immediately get these people in touch with services to help their situation, and which in turn, of course, just betters the community. So that is the Crisis Intervention Center petition. And then the last one is to remove Fort Worth PD officers from the public schools and again replace them with crisis intervention counselors who are also trained in safety and security, but who will approach these children that go into crisis or have some sort of behavior during the school day, and instead of them being approached by an officer with a gun and handcuffs and being threatened with arrest or actually being arrested and now having a record and legal fees and court dates that does nothing but just cause more stress for the child and the family, they are in touch with a counselor, a trained counselor who has access to all kinds of different community services and avenues that can help solve that child's problem instead of exacerbating it. So those are the three petitions. Also at the table, we have flyers about the upcoming CCPD tax. That's up for renewal on the July 14 ballot. There has been a lady named Jana who has been coming out quite consistently to register people to vote. So she will most likely be at the table as well, registering voters. And even though we've passed the deadline for the July 14th election, we definitely want to continue to register voters because, July 14th is not the last time we will be at the polls. And we also tend to be the collecting spot for masks that have been donated, sunglasses, hand sanitizer, gloves, all kinds of things. We kind of end up being the central location for all those things, which is great. It's nice. People have been pretty good about social distancing. I encourage you to wear a mask. Even if you're not typically wearing a mask, it's just the respectful thing to do for those who do find wearing a mask valuable and a good preventative measure. It just makes people more comfortable to come up to the table and discuss. People ask lots of questions. sometimes, and it's okay to answer those questions, but I encourage you to only answer them based on what the petition says. Please don't try to fill in between the lines and kind of guess at what the answer might be. If you are not sure what the answer is, that's okay to say that, because we don't want to misinform people and we want people to feel like we know what we're talking about. So if somebody has a question that you cannot answer, just ask them if you can take down their information, and then you can give it to Amber or myself, and we'll contact them and answer their questions and make them feel a little bit more at ease. Beyond that, it's pretty straightforward. Again, I appreciate your time. If you have any questions for me at all, Amber has my contact information, and I'm fine with you reaching out to me for a little bit further training or to answer questions or anything like that. Thank you so much. Have a great day.